When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you know, you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
Adam Shipper, senior number 30, Aiden Junker, senior number 13, Jack Eddy, and junior number 24, Kale Stotler. And in the secondary, it's junior number 4, Devin Davis, junior number 6, Nick Newroth, and senior number 8, Caden Huttinger. And now the starters for the road team, Eagle Grove. Their quarterback is senior number 8, Tate Richardson. Now I'm going to be naming some different positions here because they run a triple option offense. Their A-back is senior number 11, Caden Schultz. Another A-back is senior number 40, Orlando Hernandez. Their B-back is senior number 22, Trenton Sorensen. At one wide receiver, it's junior number 10, Connor Christopher. The other receiver is senior number 84, Johnny Pamperin. The offensive line looks like this. Senior number 77, Zach Pamperin. Freshman number 52, Reese DeMuth. Senior number 51, Jack Mendoza. Sophomore number 66, Javi Baez. Not the Chicago Cubs, Javi Baez. And senior number 50, Corey Anderson. And the D-line is senior number 77, Zach Pamperin. Junior number 69, Dominic Melendez. Senior number 51, Jack Mendoza. And junior number 18, Drake Canavan. The linebackers are junior number 10, Connor Christopher, senior number 50, Corey Anderson, and senior number 22, Trenton Sorensen. And in the secondary, it's senior number 11, Caden Schultz, senior number 84, Johnny Pamperin, senior number 40, Orlando Hernandez, and sophomore number 3, Levi Langford. Those are tonight's starting lineups for the Appleton-Parkersburg Falcons. And we're under a minute away from the announcement of tonight's national anthem. Some game time weather conditions here in Parkersburg. 66 degrees here at Ed Thomas Field. Absolutely gorgeous for being the first round of the playoffs. And the players are going to line up for the national anthem. We will take the time out as well. It's playoff football from Ed Thomas Field on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network.
To honor our nation's flag. The national anthem will be performed tonight by senior Shayla Barrett. Tonight, our nation's colors are presented by Jeremiah Saul from Parkersburg Sons of the American Legion, Squadron 285, and Mark Livingood from the Parkersburg American Legion, Post 285.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nothing. That's right. That was that 0-0 going into overtime game when it was like 30 degrees and windy. That was 7 years ago. The Falcons are looking to get back on the right track. Let's listen to tonight's keys to the game and to the postseason from head coach Alex Pollock. I'm now joined by Appleton.
We've got to be the best team every Friday night on the offensive and defensive lines. I think that's what's going to set us apart, hopefully. And if we do that, hopefully we can make a run here. So it's probably easier than it sounds, but we've got the kids to do it, and I think all that work we put in the off season for the last couple of years is really going to show.
The Falcons are
so some pretty straightforward keys there from head coach Alex Pollock. John Mowinkle, Carter Harris with you here on this Friday night. It's just about time for tonight's opening kickoff. And Carter, obviously AP going for their first playoff win in 7 years. But any final thoughts before we get this one rolling tonight? Should be ideally a good night for AP as long as they're able to jump out quick here and take care of business.
No, it's an exciting one. You think Appleton has a great opportunity to get their first playoff win in 7 years. I mean, it's looking good for them, and I think it's going to be a good one tonight. They just got to stay on task, stay with what coach said to you in the game. I mean, offensive line and defensive line is key to winning every game. If you quarterback can be as good as you want, if you can't keep the pocket clean for them, you can't have the best game, So seeing the offensive line and defensive line dominate will be a very fun one to watch if they can do that.
Yeah, and when it comes to the running game, this is one of the things that Coach Pollock shared about his running game and some of the things he hopes to accomplish here in the playoffs with his two senior running backs.
They're special players, and there's no secret as to how they got to this point. Both those guys are guys that we had to kick out of the weight room on a regular basis, and I mean that in a good way. They would be in the weight room after track meets, coming back from where they were late at night. I don't know how they got in there, but it is what it is, and they take all that stuff really seriously. To have those two guys in the same backfield is really awesome, and the best part about it is they'll be the first to credit their linemen because they're not selfish.
Yeah, Carter, when it comes to what Coach Pollock says about the two running backs, the two main running backs, Aiden Junker and Adam Shipper, not a lot of teams have a solid 1-2 punch like that, like AP does.
No, not at all. It's really hard to find. Some teams have a hard time finding one good running back. To be able to have two to share the carries for you evenly, that's incredible. And what Coach said about them is a great testimony of those two young men, being able to go out there and share the ball, but also be selfish with each other and selfish with their line. I mean, those two really good young men, great football players, and have been able to have a great season so far. And hopefully they continue it through tonight and through the postseason.
Some other playoff matchups here in Class 1A of note include Dike New Hartford hosting Cascade. And South Hardin on the road to take on West Branch. Several other Class 1A playoff games going on tonight. 16 games here in Class 1A in total. No brackets have been created yet. After tonight's winners are determined, the IHSAA will create 4-team pods for the second round and the quarterfinals. So after tonight, teams will know their path to the Unidome. Applington Parkersburg will kick things off to get things rolling, and Eagle Grove with their triple option offense will start with a football. The Falcons will go from left to right as we see it from our broadcast location. A crowd is getting into it. The people here at Ed Thomas Field have their cowbells. Thanks for tuning into the Rolling Forward Road to the Dome Warm-Up Show. Back to kickoff for AP is Gavin Thomas. Swings the leg through it. It's an end-over-end kickoff, bouncing toward the sideline and bouncing out of bounds. And Applington Parkersburg with a miscue on the opening kickoff of the game, kicking it out of bounds. And Eagle Grove will have favorable starting field position as they try to pull off the playoff upset here at AP. So the Eagles will start at their own 35-yard line. And Carter, not an ideal start if you're Applington Parkersburg kicking it off out of bounds like that.
No, absolutely not. That's not where you want to get started to start the game. Now it's up to the defense who can fight through that adversity and be able to start good on the first drive of the game.
Tate Richardson is the quarterback for Eagle Grove. We'll run through tonight's colors of the game throughout the next couple of plays here as well. Hard count, he takes a snap, drops back to throw, flings it down the near side of the field, incomplete. Hardly anyone in the area. I'll say the intended receiver was Connor Christopher flying down the left sideline, but that's incomplete, and it brings up second down and 10. So an interesting start for this triple option offense, going to the air, maybe trying to catch the Falcons a little off guard here to start.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I think they're trying to catch them off guard, try something different to start the game, haven't passed the ball very much, and try to get them on a good play action deep down the field.
Just 2 seconds into the game, second down and 10, Eagle Grove at their own 35-yard line, and a bunch of fake handoffs, and it's a run to the left side. Around the outside is Schultz down the left sideline. He's got a first down into Applington Parkersburg territory. And a solid gain there of nearly 20 yards for Caden Schultz of Eagle Grove. They go to the pass the first play, can't do anything with it, but that triple option offense with a couple of fakes doing exactly what they need to do, and they're at the Falcon 47-yard line. So first down and 10 for Eagle Grove. 11:52 to play in the first quarter. We're just underway in a scoreless tie. Man goes in motion, and they give it forward to the fullback, and he's dragged down after a pickup of about 5 yards. Right in front of us here at about the 43-yard line, carrying it for the Eagles, Trenton Sorensen.
6-yard carry.
And that's one of the things about this Eagle Grove team, Carter. You'd never know who is getting the football with all these fake handoffs. Can be really deceptive to a defense.
No, that's the thing about the triple option. They can give it to anyone at any point during this game, and you really never know who's going to get it sometimes.
Second down and 4, Eagle Grove. They're at the AP 42-yard line. Wingback goes in motion, and this is going to be a no gain on the play. The Falcon defensive line with Dakota Daly and Carson Troina absolutely gobbling up Trenton Sorensen immediately as Sorensen got the handoff. What a surge up front by that APD line.
No gain on the play.
Yeah, that's what you could almost say the D-line was blocking the O-line right there, coming sprinting through, getting through him right there to get to the running back.
And now it's third down and 4 for Eagle Grove as they face a third down for the first time here in this game. Wingback goes in motion, dropping back to throw, firing it down the right side of the field, and nowhere to be found. Caden Schultz was the nearest receiver as Tate Richardson, the Eagle Grove quarterback, absolutely no receivers in sight, and he ends up just throwing it away. But now Eagle Grove is going to go for it here on fourth down and 4 at the AP 41-yard line. Definitely a fourth and manageable, but this could be a critical point in this game. Falcons are switching out some players in the secondary. The cowbells are sounding here at Ed Thomas Field. And let's see if the Falcons can get the stop here. They hand it off up the middle. Sorensen. No, it's in the backfield still on the triple option. And the running back is slung down at the 41-yard line. No gain on the play. And Eagle Grove turns it over on downs. Caden Huttinger flying in there to make the stop, and Applington Parkersburg takes over at their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, it actually looks like the Eagle Grove tried to run a trick play there with a reverse, actually, trying to catch the Falcons off guard on fourth down, but it was not successful.
One of the things that Coach Pollock told me coming into this game in our pregame interview, everyone on the defense has a man that they're watching. You tackle him no matter what with this triple option offense, just because you never know what's coming, and the way they can cover the football, you really never know who has it. But Appleton Parkersburg will take over, moving it from left to right. AP wearing their signature red uniforms tonight after breaking out the black unis a couple times this year on the home field. Red jerseys with white numbers, black outlines, red pants, red helmets with the signature Falcon logos on the side. So it'll be first down and 10 Appleton Parkersburg, 10:38 to play in the first quarter. And they will start at their own 41-yard line, ball spotted near hash. They break the huddle, Thomas under center. And it's delayed handoff to Junker on the left side. He stumbles out of one tackle. Oh, he breaks through an ankle tackle. He's got the first down across the 50-yard line. What a nice play by Aiden Junker on the first play from scrimmage for Appleton Parkersburg. And it's going to be just enough for a first down. What a run by Junker.
Yeah, that was outstanding way for him to drive his knees. And even though he broke through like 3 guys going through, that's outstanding effort by him on that play.
We could have no noise
Gain of about 12.
in the crowd.
And there are to be no noisemakers in the crowd. So that would include cowbells, I guess. So that with it being postseason, there's a few extra rules like that really aren't enforced during the regular season. Pitch play to Shipper around the outside to the left. Breaks through a hole. A flag flies at the 40-yard line. He's still on his feet down the sideline and pushed out of bounds at around the 25. But a flag was thrown at about the 40, and unfortunately this one might be coming back on possibly a hold on the left side for AP. And that is the call, so a big run is nullified by a Falcon hold. And let's see where they put the ball. It will still be first down, but it'll be a much longer down distance for Appleton Parkersburg. They're going to go all the way back to the 42-yard line, right at about where this drive started. So Carter, a little bit of a killer there for AP. Still first down, but a long way to go.
Absolutely. Those holding penalties can really set your team back after a big play. It can be a real drive killer sometimes. Hopefully they can bounce back.
So it's a fake handoff. Thomas is under pressure, and he is going to get rid of the football as he was going down. But I think the head referee is signaling that he was down by contact before he released the football. And yes, it is going to be a sack for Eagle Grove. So things starting to kind of fly off the rails on the opening drive for Appleton Parkersburg. Zach Pamperin, one of the defensive ends in there to chase him down and ultimately make the sack. And all of a sudden it's second down and 28 here with 9:15 to play in the first quarter. Nick Newroth checks in as a wide receiver out to the left side. And they clap and break the huddle. Thomas is under center. And it's a handoff to, this is going to be, let's see the number on that, 32, Kale Stotler getting the carry, checking into the game for Appleton Parkersburg. So some substitutions coming in early on, and it'll be third down and 18 for AP after he picks up 12 yards on a second down and long, but now third and forever for AP, and really a tough situation. Carter, you think they can maybe get, I don't know, 10, 15 yards on this one, then it'll be fourth down and manageable, but the Falcons kind of with their backs against the wall right now.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking right there. There's different strategies each coach is going to use at this point. I could see him trying to just run the ball, trying to lower the distance here, make it easier possibly, or even making it fourth and manageable so they can play on fourth down.
Stotler is a wide receiver right side. Thomas on a quick sprint back, fires it over the middle. He's got Junker on the halfback screen, running down the middle of the field, down the left side. He's got a first down, one man to beat, to the end zone. Touchdown, Appleton Parkersburg.
With the touchdown.
Aiden Junker on a third down and 18 takes it all the way to the house from 56 yards. And the Falcons strike first. They lead 6-0. Well, that'll work out. We were talking about just maybe handing it off and giving the punter a little more room, but AP will sure take that.
Yeah, that's a typical strategy right there. Try and get a screen to make it a little bit more manageable, but sometimes you get lucky and you take it to the house.
Here's the snap spot. Extra point by Gavin Thomas is up and good. And with 8:05 to play in the first quarter, it's Appleton Parkersburg 7, Eagle Grove 0. Back after this from Ed Thomas Field, it's Falcon football on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcons.
receive is Schultz, and Richardson to kick is Thomas.
Aiden Junker hauls in a 56-yard screen pass on 3rd and 18. The Falcons strike first. They lead Eagle Grove 7-0 here with 8:05 to go in the first quarter. Ball is in the air. End over end kickoff will be returned by the Eagle Grove inside the 10-yard line down the right sideline. And the return man will get just shy of the 30. So that is where Eagle Grove will take over as they now trail at 7-0. A few seconds run off the clock down to 8:01 to play here in the first quarter. Carter, an explosive play on 3rd and 18 for Appleton Parkersburg when really their backs were against the wall. And you were telling me during the break, maybe the right idea to try to get some extra yardage, but that one paid off in the biggest way.
Yes, it did.
So Eagle Grove takes over at their own 25-yard line. Ball spotted on the far hash mark. Wingback goes in motion. Handoff goes straight up the middle on the triple option. The Falcon defense there to swarm the ball carrier. Second down coming up for Eagle Grove. And they'll only give them about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Second down and 9 for the Eagles. And, Carter, after one drive of, actually seeing that, you can see it from the scout team all week, but until you actually see it live, that might be what the Falcons really needed to adjust to it and really lock down on their assignments, if you will. And they hand it off to the halfback who stumbles forward. Little to no gain on the play. Trenton Sorensen stumbles across the line of scrimmage for a yard, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Tackled by Junker.
Aiden Junker in there to make the stop for Appleton Parkersburg. Eagle Grove with an all-white look tonight.
3rd and 8 at the 27-yard
white jerseys with gold numbers, white pants, white helmets, and short black socks. 3rd down and 8. Under center is Richardson. And it's it's a quarterback keeper this time around the left side. And he's swallowed up by Dakota Daly.
Another keeper picks up 5
and
yards.
It'll be about a 5-yard game. And Carter, you got to believe Eagle Grove is going to be going for this year on a 4th down and short. Not a team that really is going to be able to punt the ball back to the Appleton Parkersburg offense if they're going to stay alive here in a playoff game.
No, not at all. They feel the pressure right now to get this drive going.
Well, I take that back, as it looks like the punt unit is coming out for Eagle Grove.
Schultz. To receive is Neuroth.
So Nick Neuroth is standing back at the 34-yard line. And Schultz is actually going to be the punter this time for Eagle Grove. It's normally Trenton Sorensen. Swings the right leg through it. Caught by Neuroth at the 32-yard line. Runs to the right. Shake and bake move. Now it takes off down the right sideline across the 50. Got a seam down the right sideline. He's pushed out of bounds as a flag flies at the 35. And maybe some more penalty yardage coming up for Appleton Parkersburg, who's thrown right at the end of the return. Whether it's a block in the back or a hold, it looks like this one is coming back a few yards. And it is going to be holding against Appleton Parkersburg. Carter, that's the second one tonight we've seen on an explosive play. So
I know that's one of those tough things. It always feels like when a team gets a big return, there's always something that calls it back for some reason. But the good thing about a good return, even with a penalty, still was a good return, still got you positive yardage on the return.
You bet. So Appleton Parkersburg will take over in Eagle Grove territory after the Eagles punt. First one of the night for either side. The Falcons will start at the Eagle Grove 47-yard line. Wigley and Huttinger are the wide receivers to the left side. Huttinger the wideout, Wigley in the slot. They hand it off to Shipper, who goes up the middle off right guard. And he topples forward for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up for AP. And let's see what the Falcon offense dials up here on this 2nd down play. The Falcons with 2 straight wins to end the regular season. Wins over East Marshall last Friday night and Central Springs on the road the week before. Neuroth is the wide receiver out to the left side, and Wigley will be the slot receiver. 5.5 to play first quarter. Appleton Parkersburg leads Eagle Grove 7-0. Junker gets the handoff, and a short play here gets to about the 43-yard line. And another gain of about 2 will bring up 3rd down and 5 for AP. So the Falcons just methodically moving the ball, but they need a bigger chunk this time around in order to convert the 3rd down. spotted at the 42-yard line. Here with 5:03 and ticking in the first quarter. Need to get out to the 37-yard line to pick up the first. Thomas under center. He fakes the handoff, turns around, sets the feet, lobs it up to the left side of the field. Martez Wigley out there to haul it in, and that's a first down. Applington Parkersburg down inside the 30-yard line. Great route run there by Martez Wigley. No one there to cover.
That's that play action we've been seeing here all season by AP. What a great way to draw it up.
Gavin Thomas with some great footwork after faking the handoff. Really just perfectly sets the feet, gives him the perfect stance to release the football. And the clock keeps ticking at 4.5 to play in the first quarter. 7-0. Applington Parkersburg with the lead over Eagle Grove. And looking for more. These teams are meeting for the first time since 2013. Thomas is under center, rolls out to the right again. It's a screen pass to Wigley. He's got to break free from defenders this time, and he's not able to do so. Brought down from behind by Zach Pamper and a couple other Eagles defenders in there to swallow him up as well. And Martez Wigley really known for being able to make guys miss. Unfortunately, not able to do it that time, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for AP. From the Eagle Grove 26-yard line, the Eagles fell to South Hamilton on their home field to end the regular season last week, 60-14. Handed off to Junker, and he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. This time it was Jack Mendoza, defensive tackle, making the stop. And they're actually going to put him behind the line of scrimmage about a yard. So a 3rd down and 11 coming up for Applington Parkersburg. Well, Carter, we've seen 3rd and long before.
3rd and 11.
And we knew what happened there with a big screen pass that resulted in the Falcon touchdown. You think similar type of design here, or what do you think AP dials up this time?
You know, I think it's not as long of a 3rd down this time. So I think we're going to see definitely a pass here, definitely a play action probably, or just something that'll get them towards the middle of the field, trying to get something that might move the sticks or get them just a little bit closer.
Yeah, they call it 3rd down and 12. Thomas, quick throw to the right side. He's got his receiver. It's Newroth, able to break away from a defender inside the red zone, down to the 10-yard line. That's a 1st down for Applington Parkersburg. Nick Newroth able to squeak away from some defenders and pick up the Falcon 1st down. They'll spot it just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line, and the Falcon offense remains in business. 2:49 and ticking to play here in the first quarter, and Applington Parkersburg on the verge of going up by 2 scores. 7-0 AP. Huttinger is the wide receiver to the left side. They break the huddle. Thomas under center in the wing T formation. The give is straight forward to Junker. He follows his blockers, stumbling toward the goal line, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Applington Parkersburg. Aiden Junker from 11 yards out, his 2nd to score of the night, and the Falcons lead at 13-0. Again, you give Aiden Junker the football. If he gets in some space, he's dangerous, and not many people are going to catch up to him.
Not at all.
Extra point is coming up for Applington Parkersburg. Typical Gage Johnson is the PAT kicker. Here's the snap spot, and Gavin Thomas's kick is no good. And with 2:31 to play in the first quarter, it's Applington Parkersburg 13, Eagle Grove 0. Back after this from Ed Thomas Field, it's Falcon playoff football on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network. There's Junker again. This one is going to be over.
Yeah.
This is, I think at this point in the game last week. I guess it's too late to tweet. Oh well.
Back to return.
It was Aiden Junker with an 11-yard touchdown run. The PAT by Gavin Thomas was no good. And with 2:31 to play in the first quarter, It's Appleton Parkersburg 13, Eagle Grove 0. John Mowinkle, Carter Harris with you here on this Friday night first round playoff action. Thomas with a run up, and it's a short kickoff. Bounces at the 26-yard line, and it bounces into a returner's arms. And he will be wrapped up at the 30-yard line. Jack Eddy was in there, one of the Falcons to make the stop. And Eagle Grove will search for some answers here on offense, as the Eagles just with that one first down back on their first drive of the game. But otherwise, the Eagles have not been able to really figure out this Falcon defense. As Carter, I tell you what, you know, like I had mentioned before, you get those couple drives against that triple option offense, something you haven't seen all year. It's a lot easier the second and third time around than that first time around.
It's just something that takes an adjustment sometimes, John.
Yep. Wingback goes in motion. They fake the pitch, and they give it to Sorensen again, and he is absolutely mauled. Immediately, the instant he gets the football, several Falcons in there to make the stop, and it'll be a loss of 1 on the play. Orlando Hernandez is the guy that they faked the pitch to, who was going around the right side, but Appleton Parkersburg was all over that. 2:03 and ticking to go in the first quarter. 13-0 Appleton Parkersburg with a lead over Eagle Grove. And a man goes in motion, and they do pitch to the left this time. And Schultz, he is still on his feet, and he will be brought down after a short pickup on the play. We saw one of the Falcons tackle one of the guys that wasn't carrying the ball. They faked the handoff to him, and that's exactly what they were taught to do. See that every once in a while here in the triple option, and it'll be 3rd and 10 back to the original line of scrimmage at the 32-yard line. Carter, we saw Eagle Grove go to the pass game, but so far they just have not been on target. I think this is probably a spot that they'll try to do that again. And they do go to the air. It's a backward pass to Schultz on the right side on the swing. He's able to slip through some Falcon defenders, but he doesn't quite get the first down to about the 39-yard line. So it'll be a 4th down and about 2. Carter, what are you thinking here? We saw him punt on a little bit of a longer 4th down, but got to imagine that if Eagle Grove feels they're going to stay in this game, that they got to go for it here, right?
I think after last drive, after being able to get scored on, I think they are going to keep the offense out there. Looks like they've tried to change personnel a little bit. It looks like they're going to try to go for it. I could see a similar play coming up here, actually. They just ran. 4th
down and 3, Eagle Grove. It's the QB keeper now. They pitch down to the left, and the pitch man is absolutely swallowed up yet again. All the Falcon red jerseys. Kale Stotler was in there to make the stop. So was
Eddy with the stop.
Jack Eddy. So, lots of different red jerseys, and the Eagles turn it over on downs.
Turnover on downs. Falcons take over first
and Appleton Parkersburg will take over in Eagle Grove territory once again at the 40-yard line. AP looking to go up 3 scores with a short field to drive. 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. Other playoff games here tonight include Durant at MFL Marmac. These are 4th place at 1st place games. It's a left side pitch to Shipper, able to weave his way around one defender and get just past the original line of scrimmage to about the 39, make it 2nd down and 9. Also, Sumner Fredericksburg out of the NICL, long trip down to Sigourney, Keota. South Hardin, a long road trip to West Branch. South Hamilton hosting Ridgeview. Interstate 35 is at Underwood, Pleasantville is at Van Meter, and East Sac is at West Sioux. Those are the 1 seed versus 4 seed games. 2nd down and 9, 2 seconds to play first quarter. They run a reverse, and this is shown. Stotler dragging defenders with him. He'll be shy of the first down to about the 32-yard line, and the first quarter comes to a close. Appleton Parkersburg 13, Eagle Grove 0. We'll take the timeout for the quarter break. Back after this on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network. About all you can ask for in the first quarter, right?
65 limping off the field right there. Yeah, I know.
Who's limping off?
Number 65.
For AP?
For AP.
Shoot.
Yard line.
And it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Falcons at the Eagle Grove 31-yard line. Just need a few inches to pick up the first. Thomas on a delayed handoff to Junker, got the first down, lowers the shoulders, pushing the pile forward to about the 25. And that's enough for a Falcon first down. Referee signals move the chains down to the 25-yard line. It's Appleton Parkersburg 13, Eagle Grove 0, and Carter, aside from that missed extra point, all AP really could have asked for there out of that first quarter.
Absolutely. They had a great first quarter, great start to the game. One thing I would coach say is punch them in the mouth at the beginning. That's exactly what they've done.
Thomas hands it off to Junker, slips his way off right tackle, and he'll get a couple yards here. Short gain that time from Junker as Eagle Grove switches out some personnel, 2nd down and 9. Carter, we haven't seen a ton of really explosive plays, though, for AP on their first down plays. The bigger plays have really come, when they really kind of had their backs against the wall, if you will.
Yeah, it seems like the APs try to do, like, run it up the middle on first down, try to see what they can get, see if they make it more second and manageable. Maybe they can try to go for a big play on second. Hasn't broke too far on first down, but it's been going okay for him so far. 2nd
down and 9 from the 24-yard line. Thomas back to throw, fires it down the middle of the field. He's got his tight end, Jack Eddy. Touchdown, Appleton Parkersburg. Jack Eddy running the seam route from 24 yards out, making it look easy. And Carter, he was totally uncovered.
Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. That's one of those, that's what they usually say. On 2nd and short, you try to go deep with it. Like I said, 2nd and long, same thing. Fake the run, throw it deep, and get the touchdown that you need to pull ahead some more.
So Appleton Parkersburg, we'll see if they end up going for 2 here. Newroth is coming in off the sideline as it's 19-0 here with 10:51 to play in the second quarter. And it looks like the Falcons are, in fact, going for 2 to try to make it a 21-0 game. They're going to have 3 wide receivers. As Jack Eddy, it's empty backfield. Thomas rolling out to the right out of the shotgun, fires it to the corner of the end zone. It is caught for the 2-point conversion. And that was Aiden Junker in the corner of the end zone in the front corner, getting the 2-point conversion. And the Falcons convert the 2 to go up 21-0 with 10:51 to play in the second quarter. We will take the timeout as well on 98.9 KQCR in the Falcons.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events. We work at all the state events, and you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa. It's cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
It was Jack Eddy hauling in a 24-yard touchdown for Appleton Parkersburg. And the Falcons threw in a 2-point conversion to Caden Huttinger to make it 21-0. Try to make it a nice 3-score lead at 21-0 after the missed PAT earlier. End over end kickoff by Gavin Thomas, angling toward the left sideline. Fielded back inside the 10 by Eagle Grove. Nice juke move by the Eagle Grove return man, that's Schultz. And he gets up to about the 25-yard line before he is brought down to the Eagles with another long fielded drive. And aside from that first drive of the game, they have been unsuccessful really in moving the ball too much, unable to pick up a first down. And Carter, a triple option offense, it's kind of, I have to imagine it would be kind of difficult to really change things up too much when things aren't really going your way with that type of offense.
No, there's not very many plays you can change it to. You stick by the run there, and you got to keep to the run if that's the offense you're running, because that's what the guys are used to.
Richardson under center, hands it off straight forward, and absolutely nothing happened here. Mason Ritter in there to make the first contact for AP. Flying around the edge, and it's second down and 11.
Ritter and Ogle there to bring down the ball
They also give
carrier.
Ogle the credit for the tackle, and it'll be second down and 11 coming up for Eagle Grove. The Eagles coming off a 3-5 regular season. They did win 2 of their final 3 games. They fell to South Hamilton in the regular season finale. Wingback goes in motion. Several fake handoffs. And it's a run to the up the middle, and Appleton Parkersburg again with the stop. That had everyone faked out. Niall Peterson there to make the stop, and Dakota Daly as well. And it was Schultz with the carry. That's the crazy thing with this triple option too. Like, no one in the crowd can actually tell who has the football either. Third down and 10 for Eagle Grove. Richardson is under center. Wingback goes in motion into the backfield. And the ball is on the ground. AP thinks they have it. Red jerseys are pointing toward their end of the field, and AP recovers a fumble.
AP recovers.
Applington Parkersburg forces their first takeaway of the game. Martez Wigley getting his nose in there and gobbling up the loose ball. Falcons will take over deep in Eagle Grove territory at the 22. Those are the things that really can open up these types of games. And Applington Parkersburg gets their first takeaway, going to try to take advantage of it. Wigley comes back into the game after recovering the fumble. A short field to drive here with 9:37 to play in the second quarter. Falcons already on top 21-0, looking to go 4 scores here. Thomas is under center in the wing T. They fake the handoff, rolling out to the right. Pump fakes down the field, and he short tosses it out to Junker on the right side. Got the first down, still on his feet, dragging defenders with him down to the 5-yard line. What an effort by Aiden Junker to stay on his feet, taking multiple guys to bring him down. And it'll be first and goal for Applington Parkersburg at the 6-yard line. And Carter, we might see some after that running clock rule goes into effect, especially toward when the third quarter starts. We might not see too many starters in this game from that point out. It's definitely looking like one of those nights is on the horizon here.
Yeah, if it keeps up this way, that's probably what's going to happen.
Eagle Grove with a turnover. Martez Wigley a fumble recovery. Huttinger the wide receiver to the left side, and whistles blow. It'll be a timeout called by Applington Parkersburg. We'll take it with them with 8:56 to go in the second quarter. Falcons lead Eagle Grove 21-0. Back after this from Ed Thomas Field, it's Falcon football on KQCR and the Falcon.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help.
8:56 to play in the second quarter. It's Applington Parkersburg 21, Eagle Grove 0. And the Falcons just burned their first time out of the first half. Eagle Grove still with all 3. Thomas is in the shotgun formation. They hand it off on a jet sweep through the middle, and this is touchdown Applington Parkersburg. Nick Neurath sneaking through the hole on the jet sweep, but the Falcons go up 27-0 on the short run from 5 yards out. Carter, how about that? Changing it up a little, little deviation from the wing T, and Eagle Grove definitely did not see that one coming.
Yeah, that's just one of those, keeping the defense on their heels. They kept on running up the middle here in the red zone. Now they run it to the outside, get them on the jet sweep. Great play call there by Coach.
Extra point is up and good. And with 8:51 to go in the second quarter, it's Applington Parkersburg 28, Eagle Grove 0. Another quick timeout on 98.9 KQCR, the Falcon Activities Network from Ed Thomas Field.
was progressively recently picked back up. Least favorite for me. I hardly see him. He's always down in the basement.
Back to receive for the Eagles will be number 11 Schultz and 84 Pamperin. To kick for the Falcons will be Thomas.
Of 0 here in the first round of the playoffs. John Mowinkle, Carter Harris with you here on this Friday night. And Gavin Thomas with the run up and the end over end kickoff, again angling toward the left. Fielded by Schultz inside the 10 for Eagle Grove. He runs to the left, tries to run away from tacklers, and he's got some space down the left side of the field, down the left sideline, inside the 50-yard line, down the middle left side of the field, and he is going to go to the house for the Eagle Grove touchdown, but there is a flag. A flag was thrown at the 34-yard line, and this will likely negate the Eagle Grove touchdown. Oh, what a killer if you're Eagle Grove.
That's what it's always. It'll probably be blocking the back or holding. It's always a drive killer. It seems to happen, like I said earlier, always on these big returns.
And it is going to be the penalty against Eagle Grove. Just caught it out of the corner of my eye. And now the question is, where are they going to spot the ball? Blocking the back is the call against the Eagles. So yeah, absolutely nothing's going right. Eagle Grove is looking for something that can give them a spark, and then they get it, but then it's negated by the penalty. And just absolutely nothing going right for Eagle Grove here. And they're on the rise as a program, making it to playoffs now 2 straight years, but it's becoming more and more clear that they're not quite up to par with some of the better teams in the state of Iowa. First down and 10, Eagle Grove at the 44-yard line in AP territory. They still get good starting field position after the kickoff return, and it's a handoff up the middle to Sorensen, and he goes nowhere. The Falcon D-line able to plug the gaps again. Second down and 10. Eagle Grove with their best starting field position of the game so far. Second down and 9 here with 8:15 to play until halftime. 28-0 Appleton Parkersburg with the lead here at Ed Thomas Field. As long as the Falcons hang on to win, they will host a playoff game here at Ed Thomas Field next Friday night against an opponent yet to be determined. Second down and 9, Eagle Grove. It's a pitch to the right, and he is brought down to the backfield by Martez Wigley. Gets the ankle tackle right after Sorensen got the pitch. Martez Wigley flying in as the defensive end for AP, right in the right place at the right time. That is a dude that has been a force all year for the Falcons, and he comes in with a clutch play there, a TFL tackle for loss. And now it's third down and 12 at the 46-yard line. Eagle Grove needs to get it down to the 34 in AP territory to pick up the first. Two wide receivers in the formation, 1 to each side. Back to pass is Richardson, being chased out to the right. Wigley on hot pursuit, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds, chased out of bounds around the 50-yard line. Carter, when that happens, they typically do rule it a sack in the books if he's, chased out of bounds, right? Or is that? I think it's going to be a.
I believe so. It is considered a sack every time it's a loss in the backfield from the quarterback. I'm not exactly sure who gets credit for the sack, but it's.
Well, there's so many guys chasing him,
Yeah.
So the Eagle Grove punt unit is out, and it'll be Caden Schultz standing about the 37-yard line to boot this one away. Here with 7:10 and ticking in the second quarter. It's a short right-footed kick. Newroth lets it roll out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So the Falcons with one of their longest fields to drive of the night. And Eagle Grove, again, cannot move the football at all. Let's see where they will officially spot this. They will take over at the 17-yard line. The Falcons in their own territory. but Appleton Parkersburg proving that they've had no problems moving the football in this game. Other playoff games, you mentioned the 4 versus 1 games earlier, some 3 versus 2 games. ACGC taking on Trainer. Columbus Catholic is hosting Denver. We said Cascade is at Dike, New Hartford. Wolverines were up 14-7 in the second quarter of that game. Kemper Catholic is taking on Emmetsburg at Buena Vista University. Here's a right side run for AP down the sideline to the right side to the 44-yard line. That was Aiden Junker getting the handoff, and his tackle right in front of the white jerseys over on the far side of the field. Solid pickup on the play to about the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 AP, all the way from their own 17 to their own 45.
Big pickup brings up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
First down and 10, Appleton Parkersburg. The bleachers are just about packed full here on the south side of Ed Thomas Field. Eagle Grove stands are mostly full as well. Good contingent of fans making the trip. Martez Wigley spins out of a tackle, still on his feet, and he stumbles right at the line to gain at the Eagle Grove 45-yard line. That was a man's run right there by Martez Wigley.
To get the first down.
Takes some serious power to stay on your feet and drag those defenders with you.
Brings him down.
Oh yeah, that takes an incredible amount of strength to keep your knees driving and be able to keep guys on while guys are on you, keep going down the field.
Caden Huttinger running in off the sideline for Appleton Parkersburg, runs in the play call. 6:15 to play. We're approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Appleton Parkersburg 28, Eagle Grove 0. 2 wide receivers to the left side of the formation, and they hand it off to the fullback. Junker breaks out of a tackle, and he trucks a man forward across the 35-yard line. Another fantastic run for Aiden Junker, picks up about 13 yards on the first down play, and the sticks moves once again to about the 34-yard line. Now, if Appleton Parkersburg scores a touchdown on this drive and makes the extra point, it'll be a 35-point margin, and the running clock rule will be in effect up until it is no longer a 35-point margin, less than a 35-point, I should say. That is a new rule in the IHSAA here within the last couple of years. It used to be it had to be in the second half for that rule to be in effect. Now it's at any point in the game. First down and 10. And they hand it off on a sweep play to Shipper on the right side. Jukes a man to the left, down the right sideline, and he's spun down inside the red zone. All the way down to about the 13-yard line. What a nice run by Adam Shipper. Appleton Parkersburg moving the ball at will. And another red zone opportunity for the Falcons. With some great blocking around the outside, wasn't it, Carter?
Absolutely. It was a great push there by the offensive line to open up. It looked like the B gap right there, and a little end around by the wing back there, and able to go up and just get a huge run for the Falcons.
Ball spotted at the 13-yard line in Eagle Grove territory. The Falcons on a long drive as far as field position is concerned, but it hasn't taken too many plays, only about 5 plays so far. Delayed handoff. This is, no, it's going to be Shipper around the left side. No, it's Gavin Thomas on the QB keeper. So Appleton Parkersburg gives Eagle Grove a taste of their own medicine, and Thomas dances it in from 13 yards out, and the Falcons go up 34-0. How about that fake handoff from Gavin Thomas? Absolutely no one on the Eagle Grove defense knew who had the football that time. They got a taste of their own medicine, and Thomas went in untouched. Extra point is coming up, and it'll be Luke Shepard kicking it this time for Appleton Parkersburg. Snap spot kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:45 to play in the second quarter, it's Appleton Parkersburg 35, Eagle Grove 0. Back after this from Ed Thomas Field, it's Falcon football on KQCR and the Falcons.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events, we work at all the state events, and you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse in.
It was Gavin Thomas on a quarterback keeper. 13 yards out. Extra point was good by Luke Shepard to make it 35-0. Applington-Parkersburg with a lead over Eagle Grove. And a short end-over-end kickoff by Thomas is fielded at about the 21-yard line by the Eagle returner. And he will be stopped right around the 29-yard line. Mason Ritter in there to make the stop for AP. So 4.5 to play in the second quarter, and the running clock rule is in effect as the Falcons with that 35-point lead. And the Falcons looking to take care of business. Carter, Coach Pollock and the rest of the staff got to be really pleased with what they've seen from their team here tonight. Absolutely taking care of business, leaving no doubt here so far.
No, definitely. Coaches are ecstatic right now. Everything's pretty much going to plan for them right now.
1st and 10, Eagle Grove. They'll start at their own 28-yard line. Richardson under center. And it's a handoff up the middle to the fullback. Decent gain here of about 7 yards. One of Eagle Grove's best runs of the night. Trenton Sorensen with the carry up the middle. And it'll be 2nd down and 3 for Eagle Grove. You did mention that there was a little bit of a glaring miscue for AP there earlier in this game as well with that kickoff return. Maybe something that they'll hear about in the locker room. But either way, you'll take that 35-0 lead. Here's a handoff again to Sorensen. No gain on the play. Gets back. Well, maybe they'll give him a yard. Oh, never mind. It'll be a 1st down. I thought he got tripped up a little earlier than that, but it'll be just enough for the 1st down. And for the first time since early in the first quarter, Eagle Grove converts a 1st down at the AP 40-yard, at their own 40-yard line. Clock still running, 3:14 to play here in the second quarter. And a full house formation here yet again. And this is going to be a loss on the play. They just keep giving it to Sorensen, and he keeps getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 2. Trona and Eddy in there to make the stop for Appleton-Parkersburg back to the 38-yard line. The scoreboard says 2nd down and 32. More like 2nd down and 12. Need to get it to the 50-yard line to pick up the 1st. Richardson under center. And they give it to Sorensen again. And again, he just runs right into the line of scrimmage where he is swallowed up by a slew of red jerseys. 3rd down and 12 coming up for Eagle Grove. Get her right back to the original line of scrimmage on that play.
By Stotler.
And here comes a 3rd and long for the Eagles. Need to get it out to the 50-yard line to pick up the 1st. Just over 2 minutes to go till halftime. Richardson lines up under center. Quick throw to the left side this time. And the screen play goes absolutely nowhere. Loss of yardage on the play. Again, several Falcons in there to make the stop. And it'll be 4th down and 14. And likely another punting situation for Eagle Grove.
Brought down by a host.
Schultz has punted a few times tonight. Looks like he will do so yet again. Nick Newroth is the Falcon punt returner. Going back to the 30-yard line. Take a few steps inside the 30.
To receive.
A minute 20 to play here in the first half. Here's the punt snap. And the Falcons get a good rush. Don't quite get the block, though. And it'll bounce out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line.
Punt ball's out of bounds.
So the clock will keep running here at a minute 5 to play until halftime. Appleton-Parkersburg still with that 35-0 lead over Eagle Grove. Well, Carter, still definitely time to do something here before the first half comes to a close. Gotta move quickly, though, if you're Appleton-Parkersburg. Really looking to slam the door here in the first half.
Absolutely. That clock's not going to stop, but
42-yard line.
Neither are the Falcons, it looks like, in this game.
Down to 42 seconds until halftime. And the Falcons technically really only need to just run one play here. Play clock is down to 19 seconds. 1st and 10, they're at their own 42-yard line. And Thomas rolling out to his left. Pump fakes. Now he fires it deep. Looking for Hedinger. He's got it at the 30-yard line. Off to the races. Touchdown, Applington-Parkersburg. Aiden Junker jogging into the end zone, and the Falcons go up 41-0.
Falcons score.
Well, I guess that answers the question I just asked, doesn't it? They go for the deep strike, and they get another score before halftime here with 18 seconds.
Yeah, John, that's one thing that we talked about. I said they're not going to stop, and they sure did. And they're going to try to put another one in. And they're trying to show people why they're the #1 seed tonight.
So it'll be Luke Shepard to attempt the extra point. High snap, the spot is down, and the end-over-end kick is good. And with 18 seconds till halftime, it's Appleton Parkersburg 42, Eagle Grove 0. We'll take a quick timeout. Back after this for the rest of the second half on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network.
Johnson to Kickins.
$18 seconds to play till halftime, and it's Appleton Parkersburg 42, Eagle Grove 0. It was another long strike to Caden Huttinger to put the Falcons up 42-0. Eagle Grove lets it roll at the 15-yard line, and their return man decides to just step out of bounds. Schultz will take it out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. So Appleton Parkersburg with a big strike to Caden Huttinger here shortly before halftime. And the clock will just run out, and that'll be the end of the first half. 42-0, Appleton Parkersburg all over Eagle Grove. Our Whiffles Hybrids halftime show is next from Ed Thomas Field on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, you know, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in and try and get them in the right direction.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Wiffles focuses on corn and corn alone. In Cerro Gordo County, see Josh Huberger. In Butler County, see Chet Schultz. Wiffles hybrids, quite possibly the best hybrids you can buy. Well, Appleton-Parkersburg is scheduled to receive the second half kickoff. And Carter, the Falcons were able to put another one in the barn right before halftime on a long touchdown pass to Caden Huttinger. All AP in this one, just like we expected. But man, this Falcon offense is absolutely clicking here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's been, like I said earlier, it's been working on every point in the game that they can. I mean, the only thing coach right now probably wants to tweak a little bit of special teams with the return, and I'd say that's about it. The Falcons have looked not perfect, but pretty close to it if you ask me. So really, I mean, just been able to run the ball, pass the ball, and the defense has been good. One thing I really like is just every time you see a tackle, it's not just one Falcon, it's 6 Falcons going to the ball, and everyone else is running towards it also.
So Eagle Grove in a really tough spot right now with their backs against the wall. Their season obviously is on the line. You know, I guess if you're the Eagles and I guess you're the Eagles coaching staff, I mean, what are you thinking right now? I mean, obviously you probably want to get your seniors on the field. That's probably first and foremost at this point, right?
Yeah, that's one thing, you know, it's probably their last game now. And you just explain to them, take it one play at a time, guys. Let's try to get through this, to build back, play for your pride at this point. And you know that's kind of conversation going on at halftime and going into it, but they definitely want to give their seniors the best last experience they can playing for their hometown.
So Eagle Grove will kick off from left to right as we see it, from west to east here at Ed Thomas Field. And handling the kicking duties, looks like Leland Spencer out there for Eagle Grove. Here's the run-up, and it's a short end-over-end kick, and Appleton-Parkersburg will field it as it's Kale Stotler fielding it at the 39-yard line. He looked like he was going to start returning it, but then he just kind of slips, and it kind of plops down on his belly. But that's all right. The Falcons will take over with great starting field position. The running clock rule is still in effect here just underway in the third quarter with a 42-0 Appleton-Parkersburg lead. They will start at their own 39-yard line. Well, let's see how much longer the Falcons starters remain in the game. Huttinger is still in as the wide receiver, as we can see him on this side of the huddle. Also into the game is Blaine Luring of Appleton-Parkersburg, one of those seniors that doesn't get a ton of playing time. Here's a handoff straight up the middle, and Appleton-Parkersburg will be stopped after a gain of 2. Forward progress will be stopped, and that was that Kale Stotler on the run? I believe so. So the Falcons with some fresh guys into the backfield.
Stotler on the carry.
Also, Will Steggy is into the game. He is going to be playing quarterback here for likely the entirety of the second half, unless some even younger players work their way into this lineup. 2nd down and 8 for the Falcons. And it's a handoff around the outside to Kale Stotler on the sweep play to the right. In some space, got the first down, still on his feet. Breaking tackles, running to his left. He's in open space. He's gone. Touchdown, Applington Parkersburg.
And
Kale Stotler takes it all the way in from 59 yards out. And the Falcons add another here early in the third quarter. Talk about, it was a 59-yard run, but that had to be at least 80 yards as he was going back and forth. What an awesome run by Kale Stotler.
He worked every bit of the field right there, going north and south and east and west right there.
Falcons out to attempt the extra point. 48-0 here with 10.5 to play third quarter. And it'll be Luke Shepard out to attempt the PAT for the Falcons. Here's the snap, spot, kick is up, end over end, and it's good. And with 10:32 to play in the third quarter, it's Applington Parkersburg 49, Eagle Grove 0. We'll take the timeout as well. It's Falcon football on KQCR and the Falcon.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
It was a 59-yard touchdown for Kale Stotler. And with 10:32 to play in the third quarter, it's Applington Parkersburg 49, Eagle Grove 0. Gage Johnson with the end-over-end kickoff angling toward the left sideline. And it'll be fielded inside the 10-yard line by Eagle Grove. And Schultz, again, will just step out of bounds, gets a little bit of assistance from the Falcons. And another long fielded drive from Eagle Grove. Here are the stats as from the first half, courtesy of Ryan Dillard. Gavin Thomas was 8 of 8 passing for 193 yards. Rushing, it was Aiden Junker, 8 for 71 yards. Adam Shipper, 3 rushes, 23 yards. Kale Stotler, 2 for 18. Martez Wigley, 1 rush for 10 yards. Gavin Thomas, 2 rushes for 5 yards. Total, 16 rushes for 127 first half rushing yards for AP. Eagle Grove had 20 rushes for 30 yards. They were 2 for 4 passing for 6 yards. And little to no gain on this play on the first drive of the third quarter for Eagle Grove. They'll give him actually a couple yards. Sorensen gets the carry. And now move him up to the 18-yard line. Eagle Grove with, well, to say the least, some work to do here with 9.5 to go in the third quarter. And with the running clock in effect, it'll be all that much tougher. Richardson will hand it off to Sorensen again and again. He is just smothered behind the line of scrimmage. Shoneman, Wigley, looks like Daly and Troina were there to make the stop. That's the thing about this AP team. I mean, they are exemplifying the meaning of gang tackling here tonight.
Absolutely. That's one thing I've really liked seeing from Applington Parkersburg. It's just that gang tackling that they have that they've been doing all game.
That's one of the things that Coach Pollock said early in the season to me. While you don't necessarily have to be great one-on-one tacklers, you got to be good gang tacklers because everyone is swarming the football. And that's been on display tonight and throughout much of the year as well. Receiver Pamperin goes in motion and whistles, and a timeout is called by Eagle Grove. 8:40 to play third quarter. Applington Parkersburg 49, Eagle Grove 0. We'll take the timeout as well on 98.9 KQCR, the Falcon. Out of the Eagle Grove timeout, they now have 2 left in the second half. AP still with all 3.
Sorensen on the
And
carry.
again,
Dowley brings him
a
down.
short pickup on this play for Eagle Grove will bring up a 4th down and 9 situation.
Gain
John
of 1
Mulligan
yard.
and Carter Harris with
brings
you
up
here.
4th down for the Eagles.
And let's see what the Eagles decide to do here on this 4th down and 9 situation. Caden Schultz is their punter, and he is on the field right now. But it does not look like they are going to be punting. At this point, you might as well just go for it. Not a whole lot more damage that can be done. Here's a sweep to the left side, and nothing happening here. Eagle Grove basically runs just straight out of bounds, and the Falcons will take over on downs in the red zone. Here with 7:50 to play in the third quarter, and the clock keeps on ticking here with the 49-0 Falcon lead.
Falcons take over.
This one is getting more and more lopsided by the second here. Eagle Grove with absolutely no answers. Got some other scores. We had Dyke New Hartford with it was 27-7 they were up, is that right?
At the half, yes.
Over Cascade, that one taking place tonight in Dyke at the Gunderson Sports Complex. West Branch on top of South Hardin, 28-0 at the half. And I also just heard it was Grundy Center leading Belle Plaine 42-0 as well down in Grundy Center. So some serious blowouts going on tonight in the first round of the small school playoffs. Stotler slips through a tackle and he's into the end zone. Touchdown Applington Parkersburg.
And Stotler with the
Kale
run-in
Stotler
for
from
a touchdown.
13 yards out, and the Falcons go up 55-0. Kale Stotler sure looked slippery, if you will, on that play. Able to break a couple tackles and get in for the touchdown. That's the second score of this third quarter for AP.
Snapper, Nuroff, the holder, and Shepard.
And Luke Shepard will kick the extra point. And they get the formation set up. Here's the snap, spot, kick, end over end, and it is good.
And the kick is
and
good.
with 7:04 to play in the third quarter, it's Applington Parkersburg 56, Eagle Grove 0. Back after this, it's high school playoff football from Ed Thomas Field on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events, we work at all the state events, and you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
It was Kale Stotler with a 13-yard touchdown run for Applington Parkersburg, and the PAT makes it 56-0. Applington Parkersburg over Eagle Grove here with 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Oh, the returner slips out of a tackle, and that's Orlando Hernandez getting his first touch of the game for Eagle Grove. And the Eagles will take over at their own 31-yard line here, 1st and 10. Clock still in motion, 6:43 to play in the third quarter. And I tell you what, Carter, it's still the running clock, but it stops for every score, and the Falcons are still scoring. So definitely a little more of a drawn-out feel to this second half, despite the fact that it is a big blowout up to this point. 1st and 10, Eagle Grove, as they will spot it at the 32-yard line in their own territory. Richardson, quarterback, is under center. Schultz goes in motion into the backfield. Handoff to the right side, and Hernandez gets the carry, stumbles across the 35-yard line, reaches the ball forward. Gain of about 3 yards on the play, brings up 2nd down and 7. One of the better first down plays of the night so far for Eagle Grove, as some of the Falcon backups start to trickle in as the second half goes on. Gavin Allen is a freshman in the game. Out there wearing number 67, senior Blaine Luring is on the field as well. And here's a straightforward handoff out of the backfield. Hernandez is gobbled up once again.
Hernandez.
Connor Kellum is on the field for AP as well. Benny Waller is out in the secondary for Appleton-Parkersburg.
Gavin Allen with the initial.
Just trying to get as many Falcons recognized as possible. Corbin Wyant is on the field. Some freshmen getting some serious playing time here for Appleton-Parkersburg midway through the third quarter. And it's 3rd down and 5 for Eagle Grove at their own 35-yard line. And this is going to be a 1st down carry for Hernandez. Falcons are trying to strip the ball. Hernandez still on his feet across the 50-yard line into AP territory. And Orlando Hernandez with one of the most powerful runs of the night for Eagle Grove. And the Eagles are into Falcon territory. How about that run for that guy Hernandez? Kind of putting on a show, and now he's getting his chance here in the third quarter.
Running hard, getting in late, and he decided that he wants to run hard, he wants to play, he's going to get in the game, he's going to take advantage of it.
Eagle Grove likely going to see their season come to a close at 3-6. Appleton-Parkersburg going to move to 8-1 overall after tonight, and they will host a second-round playoff game. And now we have a Maryland eye for Eagle Grove. It's Hernandez running the ball again. Gain of 3 to 4 yards. That's one of those out of the bag of tricks. I don't think I've ever seen the Maryland eye in high school football, but Eagle Grove just did it right there.
Yeah, that's a first for me too, John. I haven't seen the Maryland eye be put out here in high school football either.
If you don't know what the Maryland eye is, that's 3 running backs behind the quarterback. Typically, an regular I formation is just 2 running backs, a fullback and a halfback, but there were 3 all lined up in the backfield. Traditional formation this time, pitch to the left to Schultz. Got some space. Blocking is good for Eagle Grove. Got a couple guys to beat. Benny Waller chases him out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And it's a big play for Eagle Grove, deeper into Falcon territory with 3.5 to play in the third quarter, all the way down to the 25. That's the type of stuff you'll start to see when there's freshmen playing defense and stuff like that. But how about that, though? I mean, you're a freshman for AP, and talk about how valuable that experience is as a freshman playing in a playoff game, no less.
Absolutely. Great way to get experience by getting some game time in.
Quarterback keeper on the option, and he stays on his feet. Stumble recovery for Richardson. Tries turning the corner at the 20-yard line before he's raced out of bounds right there.
Quarterback keeper chased out of bounds by
chased by
Stagey.
Will Stagey of AP. 2:50 to play third quarter. 56-0 Appleton-Parkersburg with the lead over Eagle Grove. And the run on the QB keeper by Richardson will get him to the 18-yard line in Falcon territory. Eagle Grove's best opportunity to score is going to be against Falcon second, third, even fourth stringers. A couple of fake handoffs, and it goes to Richardson, and he's brought down in the backfield. Ty Luring in there to make the stop for AP, chopping him down. And it'll be 3rd down and
Schultz
7 coming up.
Brought down by Ty Luring.
Ty Luring, he had a long pick 6 in last week's game against Eagle Grove. An interesting fact from that game is that AP had 3 pick 6s last week against East Marshall.
3rd and 8 on the 23-yard line.
I said last week against Eagle Grove. Last week was East Marshall. But they had 3 pick 6s in last week's game. They've had 23 total in history, in AP history. And it's a sack. Richardson goes down. Rigger was in there on the rush. Colton Harkin is who's going to get credit for the sack.
Loss of 6 on the play.
It looks like we might have had a miscue there by the offense. Looks like we had the running back didn't run the right, don't know what to call it, route in the backfield. I don't know. Looks like they didn't run how it was drawn up there.
Yeah.
Caused that play to go back.
Well, in your assignments as a back in this offense, that when you said that brings to mind that those are, more complex than really is typical. 4th down and long. Here's a toss to the near sideline, and the catch is bobbled along the sideline, incomplete, and Eagle Grove turns it over on downs deep in AP territory.
Pass incomplete to Pamperin.
So Appleton-Parkersburg will take over with 1 minute and ticking to play in the third quarter. A 56-0 Falcon lead. And the Eagles, again, turning it over on downs. Appleton-Parkersburg will start this drive at their own 29-yard line. probably will just need to run one play to end this third quarter.
That's one of those scenarios right there for the defense, for those freshmen. Now they've experienced getting a stop in the red zone. That's something that helps them out a lot, getting experience going into the next seasons as those guys have to come get in.
Right. Let's see. Caleb Campbell is running in off the sideline for AP. We're down to 20 seconds to play third quarter. Luke Shepard lines up as a receiver. And here's a handoff up the middle to the fullback. Still on his feet, and looks like Ty Luring getting the carry for Appleton Parkersburg. That should bring us to the end of the third quarter. 56-0. Appleton Parkersburg with the lead over Eagle Grove. We go to the fourth. It's Falcon Playoff Football on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect, no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, you know, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field.
It's a party here at Ed Thomas Field as we start the fourth quarter. It's Appleton Parkersburg 56, Eagle Grove 0. John Bowigle and Carter Harris with you here on this Friday night. It's the first round of the playoffs. Doesn't really feel like the playoffs with this type of a margin. And Appleton Parkersburg, right before the quarter break, got the ball back on downs as Eagle Grove turned it over on downs in AP territory. And now the Falcons will break the huddle and try to close this one off. And Eagle Grove jumps, and they'll get called for offside. So that'll make it a 1st and 5 for Appleton Parkersburg. Again, 56-0 here as we get rolling into the fourth quarter. Let's see. Lots of different jersey numbers coming onto the field. Kellen Reince is in the game for Appleton Parkersburg. Devin Davis is in. Let's see who else. Get some more names as we go along. Blaine Luring is in as well. Huddle breaks. And here's a handoff to Davis around the right side. And he's chopped down just shy of the 50. Gains about a yard on the 1st and 5 situation. Make it 2nd down and 4. Caleb Campbell is the Falcon quarterback. Ty Luring is playing running back.
2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
Colin Cope is in the game for AP, as is Cameron Timmer. Several sophomores and freshmen getting some playing time here in the fourth quarter of this varsity playoff game. 2nd down and 4 coming up for Appleton Parkersburg. Clock still running, 11.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Falcons on top by 8 scores. Reince lines up as a wide receiver left side. Flag flies. And this might be illegal procedure against AP, as the flag was blown right away. Yep, and that is the call. Carter, that's one of the things that you don't see it too often, but with this quick huddle offense, the way they get up to the line, you have to have that moment where you're set before you can actually snap the ball, and it didn't look like that was quite the case that time around. So that'll back him up 5 yards. And you could definitely see the longer wait that time. Spin move by Davis as he finds the opening. It was a nice little nifty move there by Davis. Believe it or not, this is his first year out for football. And Davis got the start of the secondary tonight and is being rewarded with some carries. 3rd down and 7, they will call it. Need to get it out to the 48 in Eagle Grove territory to pick up the first. And Davis will head to the sideline, get a quick breather, Appleton-Parkersburg will move on to the second round of the playoffs. They will host an opponent to be determined. And those pods should be out by tomorrow morning. Handoff to Ty Luring. Lowers the shoulders through the pile to about the 49 in their own territory. And the Falcons will face about a third down and 3. Well, Carter, we talked at the top of the broadcast about momentum. And Appleton-Parkersburg absolutely going to be taking even more momentum into that second round contest here next week. Really, that's all you can ask for in the playoffs. You know, you have that momentum, and that I think at this level, that's really what it's all about. You know, probably more than other levels of football, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing. That's big. Being able to get a big win here in the first round of the playoffs, that just makes the second round that much easier.
4th and 3, and the Falcons are punting. It's a high snap. Gavin Thomas is in to punt. Spiraling kick is fielded back at about the 20-yard line by Eagle Grove, and the clock keeps running at 9:12 and ticking here in the fourth quarter. Falcons still with the 56-0 lead.
Catch called by Hernandez.
My end of third quarter tweet did not send. Try to get some score updates from around the broadcast area and Class 1A. See if we can get an update from Dike, New Hartford, and Cascade. 27-7 at the half. That was about a half hour ago. Columbus Catholic with a 14-0 lead over Denver in the third quarter. And this is Richardson on a QB keeper, spinning around several times and not getting hardly anywhere. He'll pick up 2 yards.
Connor Kellum there to bring him down.
Kellum in there to make the stop for Appleton-Parkersburg. Still ticking here at 8:15 to play in the fourth quarter. This one should be over in pretty short order, and the Falcons will move on to the next round of the playoffs. Richardson under center. Wingback goes in motion. And it's it is a quarterback keeper to the right side this time. He's still on his feet at the 45-yard line, running down the right sideline into Falcon territory across the 50. So a great gain by Richardson. Gavin Allen will push him out of bounds for Appleton-Parkersburg. Just across the 52, the 49-yard line. Let's run back through the scoring summary again. AP with second half touchdowns from Kale Stotler and Kale Stotler. It started with a couple of Aiden Junker touchdowns, one through the air, one on the ground. This is a halfback run. Oh no, it's another handoff to Schultz, and he's going to be spun down at the 25-yard line.
Schultz on the carry.
Benny Waller chasing him down from the secondary to make the stop. Caden Schultz able to find a rare Eagle Grove opening in the Falcon defense.
Gain of 25
down to the 24-yard line to gain of 25.
24-yard line.
Under 7 minutes to play here in this one. 1st and 10, Eagle Grove. And here's a pitch to the right. This is Sorensen getting the carry, and the Falcons miss a tackle from behind. Sorensen able to turn the corner, and he will have a nice gain there. It'll be second down and short coming up for Eagle Grove. Nope, they'll go ahead and move the chains just enough to pick up the first
down run by
an 11-yard run.
Tackled by
if you're the Falcons, Carter, you definitely want a shutout, but at this point in the game, you're not going to be too disappointed about freshmen and sophomores giving up a score to these varsity players that, I mean, they've been playing the whole game.
Oh, exactly. That's what you kind of put, these guys in to get some experience. And
it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Eagle Grove finds the end zone for the first time tonight. Trenton Sorensen gets the handoff, runs to the left.
For the Eagles.
And it was a long touchdown run from only being from a few yards out. But the Eagles find the scoreboard for the first time with 6 minutes exactly to go in the fourth quarter. It's 56-6. Another interesting thing about Eagle Grove is they have not kicked an extra point all season. They've gone for 2 every time.
There's some coaches that live by that, and if you get half of them, it's same 2 points no matter what.
Exactly. Here's a handoff, and this will be a 2-point conversion by Schultz.
Schultz
lowers the shoulders and pushes the pile in for the 2. And with 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, it's Appleton Parkersburg 56, Eagle Grove 8. We'll take the timeout. It's Falcon Playoff Football on KQCR. And the
I love doing it. We go to all the state events. We work at all the state events, and you wear your polo, and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
Well, Eagle Grove finds the end zone for the first time tonight. And with 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, it's Appleton Parkersburg 56, Eagle Grove 8. And a fair catch is called for at the 33-yard line by Appleton Parkersburg.
Fair catch.
And it is Caden Huttinger calling for the fair catch. So the Falcons will try to put this one away. And Carter, conceivably here, AP's in a situation where they could just keep running the ball and gain some chunk yardage and literally run the clock out and not even give Eagle Grove another chance. And here with 5.5 minutes to play. But I guess you're not going to tell a kid to not score a touchdown, right? I mean, if they find the gap, it's just one of those games,
Exactly. They're going to make the goal to just run the clock out,
Yep.
run the ball. If a guy gets open in the open field, though, take what you can get and go get some more yards.
Hunter McBride is into the game for AP, and a timeout is called by Appleton Parkersburg. We'll take it as well here with 5:03 to play in the fourth quarter. It's Appleton Parkersburg 56, Eagle Grove 8. Back after this from Ed Thomas Field on 98.9 KQCR. The Falcons.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect, no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much. But what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them.
5:03 and ticking to play here in the fourth quarter. Appleton Parkersburg with the football as they lead at 56-8 over Eagle Grove. And a decent run here for Appleton Parkersburg with Trevin Thomas.
Gain of 8 yards.
I wonder if everyone on the roster might find their way out onto the field tonight. It's looking like one of those nights. 2nd down and 1 coming up for Appleton Parkersburg. Again, a 56-8 lead. Let's see, other scores from around the broadcast area. We'll try to find a South Hardin score. They are at West Branch tonight. And it's West Branch 42, South Hardin 0. So that one just about over as well. So this will be, well, the down marker moved past the line to gain, but then moved right back. It's going to be 3rd and inches for Appleton Parkersburg after a short run by Luring of AP.
3rd and short for Falcons.
This is about 3rd and as short as it gets here. 3:40 to play And the Falcons just need to move the ball a couple of inches to pick up the first down. And here is Blaine Luring topples over the line to gain. And he will pick up a first down. The crowd with a little bit of a gasp there on that run.
First down.
PA announcer Jamie Pudens says it correctly, flying for the first down. Down to 3:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. Corbin Spargrove coming into the game for AP. Again, the quarterback is Caleb Campbell, 6'2" sophomore. And the huddle breaks. First down and 10. Campbell hands it off on a run to the right side. Trevin Thomas turns the corner, lowers the shoulders into Eagle Grove territory, down to the 46.
Thomas on the carry, tackled by Schultz.
And the crowd is still here. I give the Eagle Grove fans credit, though. I mean, they are still here. I mean, I don't think hardly anyone is left.
They're definitely sticking it out for, their boys, keeping here, staying here, cheering them on.
What it's all about, man. 2:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. And we await the play call coming in. And again, really no way to forecast who the next opponent is going to be. We'll find out tomorrow morning. First and 10, and it's going to be a delay of game. The play clock was down to 0. And the Falcons were going to just take a knee anyway with 1:56 on the game clock. Well, we'll just back up 5 yards. And while it is a running game clock, the play clock here is still in effect. Still got to run the play within the 40 seconds. So they will just run in the play call yet again. And Appleton Parkersburg looks like they will kneel this one out and secure the 56-8 victory. Just a couple more snaps should do it, down to 1:35. And Campbell takes a knee, and the crowd can start their applause. Appleton Parkersburg going to move to 8-1 overall. And they will host a playoff game here at Ed Thomas Field next Friday night, and we'll have it right here on 98.9 KQCR and the Falcon Activities Network. Eagle Grove will wrap up their season at 3-6 overall. This program, though, after some really rough times in the mid-2010s, has qualified for the playoffs for the second year in a row here. They fell to Dyke New Hartford last year, and looks like one more kneel down after this should do it. They are going to have to snap one more time as the game clock is about 10 seconds ahead of the play clock. Tell you what, though, Carter, Appleton Parkersburg, we knew that this is a game there where they were going to be able to take care of business, and that's exactly what they did. All you can ask from this AP team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they knew that they matched up well before the game, and kind of coming out here, they've kind of executed their game plan that they had, and were able to do it right and come out with a big victory, 56-8.
The final knee has been taken, 56-8 the final score, and the teams will shake hands at the 50-yard line. Post-game coverage is next from Parkersburg on 98.9 KQCR.